to my YouTube channel. This is A Square Maths Made Easy Academy. Now, before I continue or I start solving this particular question, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell so that anytime I'm uploading video, you will get it easily. And don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share. So, my viewers, I want you to observe this question. We are still talking about how to resolve a function into partial fraction. I am done with case 1. Case 1 was talking about decomposition of the denominator. Now this is case 2. Case 2 talks about repeated function of a denominator. Now before we tackle this question, I want you to observe something here. Let's take, for instance, if you are asked to resolve this into partial fraction, let's say 3x plus 1 all over x plus 3 all raised to power 3. Am I communicating now? So this is called a repeated function. What makes it a repeated function is because x plus 3 is to power 3, is to power 3. So any repeated function is that you must start with power 1, then it will increase to power 2, and finally to power 3. And that is why it is called a repeated function. But peradventure, this 3 is not here now. This is the case 1. This is case 1. But in as much as power 3 is here, it is no longer case 1. We call it case 2. And that case 2 is what we call a repeated function. Can you observe that the power of x, the power after the bracket is 3? And because it's 3, we are going to generate 3 constants. What are they? A, comma B, comma C. We are going to introduce at the denominator. How do we start? Watch this. I will now say equal to, start with the first one. The first one is A divided by the denominator. What's the denominator? You start with x plus 3 first. Am I communicating? Then I will now add and move to the second constant. The second constant is B. Still divide by the denominator. I will have it as x plus 3, but this one is to power 2. Am I communicating? This one is to power 1. That is why I did not introduce that one. Then finally, I will now add and introduce the last value. What's the last value? C. Still divided by the denominator. I will now pick everything and consider it as x plus 3 all raised to power 3. This is what we call a repeated function. So then we now look for A, B, and C. Have I made myself clear? Now, let me give you more examples on this. Let's take, for instance, that we have this kind of question, 4x plus 1 all over. The question now say x bracket x minus 1 all to power 3. Look at it now. Express this into partial fraction. Consider the denominator. Now, if you observe the denominator, it has 2 characteristics that is existing there. The first one is case 1. Case 1, which is linear. Can you see that this one is to power 1? You consider it as A. Then the next one is called the repeated function. Can you see that the repeated function has the power is 3. So which means we are going to generate 3 functions. Since the first one has considered as A, which means this one should be B, C, D. So we are having 4 things all together. This one is 3 because it's power 3, and this one is a linear, is A. Can you observe that this particular question now is talking about case 1, which is a decomposition of the denominator. It's also talking about case 2, which is called a repeated function. Then let's express it now. I will now say equal to. The first one is A divided by the denominator. What's the denominator? X. Are you with me now? I'm done with this. Let's move to the second one. I will now continue plus. The second one is B divided by the denominator. What's the denominator? X minus 1. I will start with x minus 1 first. Then I will add and move to C. I'll have with me C here. Still divide by the same value, but this time around it will not be x minus 1 all raised to power 2. All raised to power 2. Are you with me now? It's increasing now the powers. Then you now add. The last one is D. I will now write D divided by everything here, which is x minus 1 raised to the power of 3. Can you see? I have already resolved it. Now what we'll be looking for now is A, B, C, and D. This is exactly how to solve a repeated function when it is at the denominator. Now watch this now. Let's go now to the question. I want you to observe the question critically. Now watch. What is the question? Be careful. The question says, find the sum, underline the word sum, which means addition, of A and what? B. If x squared minus 2x plus 4 all over what? X, bracket x minus 2, all what? Squared is, can you observe the denominator? There are two components there. This is called a linear function, which is decomposition, and this is called a repeated word function. Here, the highest power here is 2. Now, what you do, give this one A first. So these two now become B and what? C. B and what? C. Can you see exactly how they generated it? We start with A over the first one, which is what? X. Then the next one is plus B over x minus 2, which is this one. The last one is plus C, which is what? X minus 2 all squared. Now let's solve this particular word problem. Now I want you to observe, it is very simple. What we are going to do now, first of all, we consider x squared minus 2x plus what? 4 divided by the denominator, which is x, bracket what? X minus 2 all squared. All we are going to do, look up, is to take the LCM. Take the what? LCM of the right hand side. The LCM is the first one, x, open bracket, and the last one. Do you know why? This and this are the same. So you pick the last one, which is x minus 2 all squared. Yeah, let's divide. If this x now cancel this very x, it will remain this, right? Use it to multiply by what? A. It will give me now a bracket x minus 2 all squared. I am done with this. Then plus, observe this, one of this will cancel one of this, it will remain 1, including what? X. Use it to multiply b. It will give you bx. B what? X bracket x minus 2. Are you with me now? Then you now add. Now you agree with me that this very particular one will cancel this very particular one. It will remain what? X. Use x to multiply c. It will now give you c what? X. Am I communicating now? Then cancel out. X to the left will cancel x to the right. Now x minus 2 all square to the left will cancel x minus 2 all square to the right. So what is remaining is the numerator. Bring it out. I will now say x squared minus 2 what? X plus what? 4 is now equal to, now observe this now. This is now a bracket what? X minus 2 all squared plus what? Bx bracket x minus 2 then plus c what? X plus what? C what? X. Now I want to use what we call elimination method first to solve this particular word problem. Now let us observe this now. The coefficient of A, look up, the coefficient of A is x minus 2 all square. Here the coefficient of Bx is x minus 2. Now what you should do now is to say let x minus 2 be equal to what? 0. I want to get the value of x here. I want to get the value of x here so that I can eliminate both A and what? B in order to get what? C. Oh yeah, watch this now. I will now make x subject of the formula. Then x corrected minus 2 to the right, it becomes what? 2. So which means the value of x is 2. What do we do? Anywhere we come across x here, remove the x and put in what? 2. Oh yeah, watch. Let's go. This is x, right? X is what? 2. I will now write 2 squared. 2 what? Squared. Then minus, here is what? 2. I will now write 2. I have seen x. What is x? X is what? 2. Then plus what? 4. Go to the right. Then watch. Here is what? A. I will open the bracket. Look up. There is x. What is x? 2. I will write what? 2 minus 2. But all squared. But all what? Squared. Then plus. I will write b. Are you there? Then open bracket. What is x? X is what? 2. I'll write 2 here. Close the bracket. Open again. What is x? X is what? 2 minus what? 2. Are you there? Then plus, observe this. What is x? 2. 2 times x will give you what? 2. 2 times c will give you what? 2c. Now, if you observe this now, you agree with me that this is 2 squared. What is 2 squared? 4, right? Minus. 2 times 2 will give you 4. Then plus what? 4. Everything should now be equal to. Be observant here. Watch this. 2 minus 2 is what? 0. 0 squared is still what? 0. And 0 times a is what? 0. So a has disappeared. Let's move again here. 2 minus 2 is what? 0. And 0 times 2 is what? 0. And 0 times b is also what? 0. It has disappeared. So what remains now is 2 what? C. Oh my goodness. 4 minus 4 is 0. What remains is 4, which is equal to 2c. Make c subject of the formula. Divide this by 2. Divide this by 2. So that 2 will be cancelled what? 2. So this implies that the value of c is now equal to, you can agree with me that 2 can go into 4. How many times? 2 times. So we have known c as what? 2. Am I communicating now? Now let us move to what? A and B. Let us move to what? A and what? B. Now back to the question. Look up now. If I still consider x to be 0, so that I can now eliminate what? C. Am I communicating now? What am I going to get? Well, watch this. I will now say let the coefficient of c, which is what? X, to be equal to what? 0. So let's fix it. Anywhere we come across x here, remove it and introduce what? 0. Oh yeah, what is here? X. I will now put what? 0. Raised to power 2. Raised to power what? 2. Then minus 2. Open bracket. What is x? X is what? 0. Close the bracket. Then plus what? 4. I will now write plus what? 4. Are you there? Then equal to. Watch here. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is what? A. Taking it gradual. Open the brackets. So we have seen x again. What is x? X is what? 0 minus 2. Close the bracket. All squared. All what? Squared. I will now move over again. Plus what? B. Open bracket. What is x? X is what? 0. Put 0. Open the bracket. Open again. What is x? X is what? 0. I'll put 0 minus 2. Close the bracket. Then plus. This is c, right? This is my c. I've seen x again. What is x? X is what? 0. What? Observe this now. 0 squared is 0. Then I have 0 minus 2 times 0 is what? 0. Plus what? 4. Then equal to. Be careful here. Now observe this. 0 minus 2 will give you minus what? 2. And minus 2 squared will give you 4. 4 times a is 4 what? A. I take it again. 0 minus 2 is minus 2. Then minus 2 all squared simply means minus 2 times another minus what? 2. Minus will cancel minus. 2 times 2 will give you what? 4. And 4 times a is 4a. Now observe this. This is 0 minus 2 is minus what? 2. Minus 2 times 0 is 0. 0 times b is also what? 0. Finally, this one is what? C. C times what? 0 is also what? 0. So what is remaining is this one. Now I want you to observe. You have 0 minus 0 is 0. Plus 4 is what? 4. Everything should be equal to 4 what? A. What did I say? 4 what? A. So we have known this now. Make A subject of the formula. Divide by 4. Divide by what? 4. 4 will cancel 4. Now this implies that the value of A is now equal to 1, because 4 over 4 will give you 1. So we have succeeded by knowing the value of C as 2 and the value of A as what? 1. What do? We get back to the question again to solve for B. To solve for what? B. Solve for B. How do we solve for B? Oh my goodness, watch. This is the bring out this. We have x squared, right? We have minus 2 what? X. That's a normal question. We have plus what? 4. Plus what? 4. Then equal to. Now this is what you should do. Very simple. Now I want you to observe something here. We're looking for what? B. We're looking for what? B. Look at this. We're looking for what? B. And you know that if I should use this bx to open the bracket, bx times x will give us bx squared. Bx what? Squared. Look at this one also. If I should expand this thing twice, look up. I'm going to get x minus 2, open bracket, another x minus what? 2. Then you can use a to open the bracket, which means a. You know that x times x will give you what? X squared. And that x squared times a will give you what? A x squared. I'm considering only the x squares. Then watch this. Here also bx times x will give you plus what? Bx what? Squared. What do? Use what we call comparison of coefficient. Comparison of what? Coefficient. This gentleman here will marry this gentleman. Well, let's bring it out. X what? Squared is now equal to, watch this. There is x squared here, there is x squared here. Factor x squared and open the bracket. It will remain what? A plus what? B. Are you with me? So what we do here is to divide everything by x squared. I will now say x squared over x squared equals to x squared over what? X squared open the bracket, which is A plus what? B. Close the bracket. So this gentleman will cancel this gentleman. Are you with me now? Can you observe that already we have seen what? Our B is visible. Now let's go. If you cancel it, what happens here is S square over S square will give you 1, right? I'm still working. Will give you what? 1. Then equal to what is remaining? A plus what? B. Now we have already known A. Don't forget that we have already calculated for A. Look up. The value of A is what? 1. The value of A is what? 1. So we have known A as 1. Meaning that anywhere we come across A here, they move it and put what? 1. So that we have 1, then equal to, what is A here? 1. Then plus what? B. Am I communicating now? Make B subject of the formula. Carry 1 this way, it becomes 1 minus 1. Are you there then? Which is equal to what? B. Talk to me. This implies that what? B should now be 1 minus 1 is what? 0. Is what? 0. So we have gotten the value of A to be what? 1. The value of B to be what? 0. And finally the value of C is what? 2. But that is not what they asked us. Look up. Find the sum of what? A and what? B. So the word sum, they said A and B, which is A plus what? B. We now go. So this is now equal to, do we know A? Yes. What is A? 1. Plus, do we know B? Wow. What is B? 0. Finally, what did I say? Finally, 1 plus 0 will give you what? 1. So 1 is the correct answer. Is there anything like 1 in the option? Yes. The correct answer in the option is option what? A. So this is option what? A. So that is how to solve problems under case 2, as far as partial fraction is what? Concerned. And that one is called repeated word function. What did I say? Repeated word function. So viewers, in my next video, I'll continue with case 3. See you.